Hi guys, welcome back. Beautifully Belly here with another video. So I wanted y'all to keep me company while I cook. I'm making chili today on Sunday because my family couldn't figure out what they wanted. So I'm using this ground turkey. Ground turkey. I had two of these, but I don't know where my son put it at. When my kids put the groceries away, they just do whatever. So I can't find stuff when I'm looking for it. This is my other chili pack. I'm not the best chili maker, by the way. I got 3 cans of organic kidney beans. And then I just prep some of my stuff so I'm not like, I got 3 cans of tomatoes. And then I'm using some grapeseed oil to do my turkey. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk to y'all about a couple things. One was I saw the how many views I got on surviving low income housing, and I just wanted to go over like a little bit of the things that I did while I was there, like with my kids, to get them like trained and stuff. Anybody who knows me will tell you that everybody viewed me as a strict mom. Sometimes you have to do what you got to do to keep the kids out the street. And I did what I needed to do. It wasn't like where we lived at. It was very rural and stuff like that. So it wasn't that much for the kids to do anyway. But, you got kids, you better watch them. Especially when they hit that teenage years. So one of the things that I started doing was when they turned 13, I had them enrolled in a summer job. And where we lived at, there was an organization that worked with us that provided summer jobs for the kids. They would literally come and pick them up and bring them home. The job was working on a farm. So they learned how to like harvest, how to plant, how to cook what they, how to cook what they grew. They were like selling their produce and things like that. So I started them off with that. And then I would have them save their money up. So I think it was like 8 or 10 weeks they would work. Sorry, I just got to adjust my temperature. I think it was like 8 or 10 weeks they would work. And they would get a stipend. The stipend was like $230. So what I would have my kids do is go to work, get their stipends, save them, because right around the corner is back to school time. So this is what I would do. I wouldn't have them spend all their money on back to school stuff. I would have them purchase like one thing that they wanted. So it was like, say if they wanted a particular backpack. I know when I was in school, JanSport was the thing, but they went to a predominantly white school, so they weren't really into like name brand stuff or nothing like that. So I would have them purchase one of their back to school items, and then I would let them keep the rest of their money because they worked for it. So the thing about living in low income housing is that when your kids turn 18, if they're working, their income is now included in the household income because they're 18 and they're considered an adult. Hold on guys, I gotta get a knife. So from 13, they would do it 3 years, 13, 14, and 15. I think you aged out at like 16. So when they aged out, I would have them look for a part-time job. And the thing about my kids is because they had that experience of having a summer job, they knew the incentive of getting up, going to work, getting your money, and doing whatever it is that you needed to do with it. So by the time they was around 16 or 17, can y'all see me? I would have them look for a part-time job. And there were stipulations with this because, like, school is going to come first. If you are not doing well in school, you can't have a job because school is going to come first. So yeah, I made, and they wasn't allowed to work over 20 hours a week as well. So like when Naya and Daquan started working, I only allowed them to work on the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they got the rest of the school week just to focus on school. But Terrence, I think he was 16, 17 when he got his first job. Not first, but I'm saying other than a summer job. And yeah, I had stipulations, like he could only work 4 hours a day, and he had to keep his grades up. So when your kids turn 18, their income now is a part of the household income. So what I would do is make them pay a small portion of the rent when they turn 18. The thing about it is training. See, people think if they don't say anything, like some kids are not just going to get it, right? Just like you train your kid to use the bathroom, or you train your kid to iron their clothes, or you train your kid to take showers by themselves, you have to train them to get them into work shape. So they paid a small portion of the rent. I think by the time we moved out of there, our rent was $1,500. Terrence wasn't there. He had moved out with his girlfriend or whatever. And then the other two, we just split it up, basically. So we did that. And that's how we made it work. Now, where we at now, our rent is a lot higher. A lot higher. It's almost $3,000. And my kids are now adults. So I make them pay a portion of the rent. My husband and I, we still pay the majority of everything. But we do make them pay a portion of the rent because we want them to be responsible. One day you're going to live out on your own. And you're going to need to know how to budget, prioritize, because if you don't pay your rent or your mortgage, you have nowhere to live. And the other reason why I did that is because I wanted my kids to know that, a part of being an adult is being responsible. You only got you to worry about right now, but one day you might have a family. And you're going to have to know how to budget and balance, run a household, cook, clean, all that. And it's funny because I trained my kids to have chores and stuff. And we was doing good. But now that they pay bills, they think they don't have to clean up. And it's like, no, that's not how it goes. So we're still in the training process. Sorry, I'm sweating because somebody turned my air off. Yeah, it's just, I think the reason why these young generations, the younger kids, and there's some older people too, I'm not gonna lie, but the younger people are saying, oh, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, this and other, because they didn't have enough training. You have to start training your kids early to get ready for work, and you should not be living and struggling. It also teaches your kids to help provide and be a part of the team and do what you need to do for your family, make sacrifices and stuff. Some people might not agree with that, but I look at it like this. They gonna learn one way or another, so why not you be the one to teach them? So lastly, I never let my kids forget where we came from. Although when we lived in low-income housing, I'm not going to say we were struggling. I'm not going to say that, but I'll say that we still qualified for services. So I'm not, when I say we weren't struggling, like we had food, you know, I was really good with balancing everything. They didn't like go without anything. They had school stuff, and you know, we didn't go on vacation, but I made sure that they had the things that they needed. So I always remind my kids, like, don't forget where we came from. I know that, you know, I made it look real easy, or we made it look real easy. But there really wasn't the case, you know. It's just, as parents, you don't want to stress your kids out with unnecessary stuff. So you try to do all that you can do so that they can just have a normal childhood. But I do let them know, like, you know, we didn't live there and like that, so we're not gonna live here like that. We gonna keep the same energy. So yeah. I don't have nothing else. I just wanted to let people know, like, because this is a thing that I noticed. Where I lived at, a lot of, like, my kids' friends, either the grade before them or the grade after, some of those kids got stuck because they started having their own families. Then they started applying for housing where they lived at. I just never wanted that for my kids. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just didn't want that low income housing thing to be like a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a couple of people in my family that lived in low income housing. I think like 3. But I never remember any of the adults, like my aunts or my uncles or anybody like that. It was just like me and I think one of my other cousins. And I don't know who the other person was, but it wasn't a lot of that in my family. And it's not, again, it's nothing to be shameful for, because that, living in low income housing, it might be the thing that saves your life, because I know it saved mine. So I know some people hang their heads down low and they're embarrassed, and you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And I just don't think that, you know, if you had it easy and if you had everything that you wanted, how would you know how strong you are? So if for anybody living in low income housing, you can get out. It's not a bad thing. Be grateful for your situation. Make the best of it. Do what you gotta do for you and your kids and your family. And don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. Alright guys, if nobody told you that you're enough today, you are. Just the way you are, with no strings attached. And if nobody told you that they love you today, I love you. So until next time, guys, peace, love, and blessings. Until the next one.